Food, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Elite Fuel Service, Houndstown Reading, Judd Firestone Plumbing, Kuhn Funeral Home, Overhead Door Company, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Phil's, Savage Auto Group, Shore Stay Best Western Hotel in Reading, and Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society.
Now for all the action, let's go courtside with Bob McCool and Rich Scarcella.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome. WEEU's coverage of Berks County High School basketball continues as we head to the next round of the postseason, and that is the District 3 playoffs. We started with a District 3 6A boys first-round matchup. It's the Cedar Crest Falcons and the Wilson Bulldogs. On paper, this is the 12-5 matchup. If you're an NCAA basketball fan, that's not necessarily a good thing. If you're the 5, which is what Wilson is, the Bulldogs are 20-5 overall. Cedar Crest is 17-7. Of course, they are familiar with one another because of the ties of the Lancaster 11 League on the football field. Section 1 of the Lancaster 11 League ended up being in the favor of Cedar Crest at 8-2, and they surprised a lot of people because the Falcons ended up as the Lancaster 11 League champions. They beat Warwick on Friday night, 45-40 for the Lancaster 11 League title. And if you follow Berks County basketball and you're watching us with WEU, you know that the Wilson Bulldogs are your Berks County champion, beating Reading High in a game we had for you here on WEU Friday night, 55-39. The Bulldogs are 20-5 overall. This also happens to be the third year in a row they're meeting each other in the district playoffs. We'll talk about that as our coverage continues. High school basketball is presented to you by Savage Auto Group, and it's live on 8:30 a.m. WEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. And if you haven't found it yet, lots of people have. Our video coverage is available to you for free at 8:30 WEU Sports on YouTube. You can also check it out on Facebook Live as well on WEU's Facebook page. All of it comes your way with the pregame show when we get back to West Lawn after this.
Shopping at Redner's has never been easier or more convenient with Redner's Ready, the order online and pickup service for Redner's Markets. Visit rednersmarkets.com and click on the Redner's Ready icon. Then choose your items, pay online, and pick up your order in any of the designated Redner's Ready parking spaces, and your groceries will be brought right to your car. It's Redner's Ready, the convenient online order and pickup service available only at rednersmarkets.com.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Door. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Welcome back to Wilson High School alongside Rich Scarcella. My name is Bob McCool against Cedar Crest and Wilson squaring off against one another. The Berks County champion, the Lancaster 11 League champion, but one of them is going home after tonight's game. And Rich, that's exactly what happened to Wilson last year. They are the repeat champion in the county title. They took on Cedar Crest, who won the Lancaster 11 League championship a year ago as well. But it was also a first-round meeting. Last year it was in Lebanon. And the Bulldogs ended up losing that game 55-50 and seeing their season come to an end. So it's a little bit of deja vu all over again for the Bulldogs, actually all over again, because they did the same thing in 2023.
Yeah, last year's game, Matt Coldren a few minutes ago was telling us that he's not comfortable after winning a league championship game and playing that first round game. Well, there's a lot to be uncomfortable about because, as you said, this is an elimination game. Winner moves on and qualifies not only for the district quarterfinals, but for the state tournament. Loser goes home. That's it. So there's a lot of pressure on both these teams tonight. And last year at Cedar Crest, Wilson got pretty good scoring from its top three. Corell Akings, 18, Maddox Gruber, 15, Luke Levan, 10, but just 7 points from the rest of the team in a 55-50 loss. 2 years ago right here, Wilson beat Cedar Crest 48-40, came from behind in the fourth quarter. I think they trailed by one going into the fourth quarter, rallied. So these teams are familiar with each other, and on top of it, they met in the regular season a month ago. Right here, Wilson surprisingly beat Cedar Crest 66-43, got great balanced scoring, had 7 players score at least 8 points, led by Tommy McFadden, who had 11. So that's the one thing. These two teams are very familiar with each other. Matt Coldren said Cedar Crest, the Falcons' physicality worries him the most.
Yeah, it's interesting in a sense that, like Wilson, the Falcons also have a mix of some football players, and that's where the physicality comes from. Guys like Jackson Custer, who was the Cedar Crest starting quarterback, Jack Warrenevich was a cornerback and a wide receiver, and then R.J. Young, who was a tight end, but also happens to be 6'7". So they're kind of wired alike in a lot of ways. They're built alike in a lot of ways. And that battle inside between R.J. Young, who's 6'7", and, of course, Luke Levan, who is at 6'5", and was huge against Reading High in the county final, should be an interesting place for the eyes to turn with the battle of the big men inside in this one.
Yeah, in the first meeting back in January, Levan had 10 points for Wilson. Young had just 6. Young is averaging 12.3.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top-quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
WEEU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, WEEU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for WEEU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. WEEU, banking that understands home.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office?
Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Welcome back to Wilson High School alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Apologize, a little bit of technical difficulties. We're back. We're rolling. It's the Cedar Crest Falcons, the Wilson Bulldogs again. The LL champ, the Berks champ going head-to-head. One of them goes on, the other goes home. That's what's on the line in a recap of where we were. But now it's time for us to take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by RE/MAX Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis. If you're buying or selling a home, Phil Macaronis is a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame with over 20 years of experience providing countless buyers and sellers keys to their real estate transactions. Call 610-670-2770. Ask for Phil Macaronis for the keys to buying and selling your home. Cedar Crest, Wilson, Rich Garcella has his keys to the game.
For the visiting Cedar Crest Falcons, the 12th seed in the 6A tournament, they want to contain Maddox Gruber. Gruber has averaged over 20 points a game in the last 6 games. He's got 10 games with 20-plus. He has struggled a bit again in the last 2 meetings against Cedar Crest. 15, if you call that a struggle, last year in the District 3 playoff game, and 9 against Cedar Crest here last month. The Falcons also want to win the battle of the boards. They want to control the boards. Matt Coldren said they're a very effective team off the glass. The third thing, they want to contain, believe it or not, they want to contain Luke Levan. Luke Levan in 7 postseason games the last 2 years is averaging almost 13 points a game, well above his season average. For Wilson and the 5th seed, the home team, Coach Matt Coldren wants to rebound and run. So they want to control the tempo, but they want to, instead of like last Friday against Reading in the county championship game, they want to speed this up. He wants to see his players share the basketball, move the basketball around. And the last thing, he wants to see them play every possession with urgency and with playoff energy.
Time for us to take a look now at our starting lineups, and they're brought to you by Victor Emmanuel Beneficial Society. They've been serving authentic homemade Italian dishes for over 100 years. New memberships are now being accepted for only $10. The facility at 311 Hazel Street in Reading is also available for rental for private parties, banquets, and celebrations. Victor Emmanuel, Taste of Italy, right here in Reading. For the Cedar Crest Falcons, they're coached by Tommy Smith. He's done a really good job in South Lebanon. 15 seasons, 238 and 143. Again, back-to-back LL titles. Last year, they ended up 6th in the district. They beat Wilson, obviously, in the first round. They lose in the quarterfinals to Cumberland Valley, then come back and play what turned out to be the eventual state champion, Central York, for the 5th and 6th place game in District 3 in Class 6A. They lose that. Central York goes as the 5th seed. They go on, beat Reading High in the state semifinal, win the state title. Cedar Crest gets the 6th spot, and they open up with Lower Marion, the District 1 champion, and that's where their season ended at 85-55. But they return only one starter from that group, and that's their big man, R.J. Young, the 6'7 senior. But then it's 4 guards around him, including a guy who missed the first meeting between these two teams back in January. That's Jackson Custer, the starting quarterback for the football team, and he's the point guard for the basketball team as well. Doesn't score a lot, but he's kind of one of those, what they like to call the glue guys and a distributor of the basketball. Danny Speaks, 6' senior, is their leading scorer at 13.7 a game. Jack Warrenevich, 6' senior guard, and then Isaac Wolf, 6' senior, averaging at 10 a game, along with R.J. Young at 12.3. There's your top 3 scorers: Speaks, Young, and Wolf is their 3-point shooter. Matt Coldren wins his 6th Berks County title, Wilson's 13th Berks County title on Friday night. He is now at 428 wins in his 24th season at his alma mater, including the 20 that the Bulldogs have coming into tonight's game. They'll have a 6'5 senior Luke Levan inside, along with Tommy McFadden, 6 foot and a senior. John Edom, 6 foot and a senior. Carell Akings, 5'10 and a junior, the lone underclassman in the Bulldogs starting 5. And, of course, Maddox Gruber, runner-up for a player of the year in Berks County behind Kingston McCoy from Berks Catholic. Gruber at 18.3 a game, had 23 more in the county final against Reading High, now at 1,147 in his career. Akings also in double figures at 10.3. As Rich mentioned, Luke Levan coming up big in the county semis with a season-high 19 against Governor Mifflin, and then had a double-double against Reading High with 15 points, 14 rebounds, and 6 block shots to go along with it. And that leads us to our spotlight, brought to you by Bachman Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling. Whether your needs are residential or commercial, Bachman's makes the home improvement process easy. The Bachman family has proudly served the Berks County community for over 50 years. Tonight, we turn the spotlight on that matchup inside. 6'7" senior R.J. Young averaging 12.3 for Cedar Crest. Luke Levan, 6'5" senior, averaging at 8.1 for the Bulldogs. But as we said, stepping it up even more. Rich just told you about how much better he has been in the postseason. And Rich, just talking with Adam Filer and Dan Hart and a couple of Matt Coldren's assistants about R.J. Young, I said, how good is the big guy? And he said, it depends on the night. He said when he's locked in, when he's engaged, he can be a game changer. Sounds an awful lot like Luke Levan.
Sure does.
Luke Levan on certain nights can be a game changer.
Yeah, and we've seen him come on the last 2 games in the second half after slow starts in both games against Governor Mifflin and Reading. Came on in the second half and really propelled both wins. Young had 6 here in January, but he had 14 last week in the LL championship game against Warwick. So, yeah, that's a big matchup to watch and one that I'm going to keep an eye on.
So this is the 12 versus 5. Cedar Crest, the 12. Wilson is the 5 seed. The winner of this moves on to take on the winner of the game being played tonight in Chambersburg. Chambersburg is the 4 seed. They're taking on Carlisle. That's a Mid-Penn Commonwealth matchup in the first round of the district playoffs. The winner of that plays the winner of this. Obviously, if Chambersburg wins, it would be at Chambersburg as the number 4 seed. And our coverage is getting underway. We'll have more District 3 basketball coverage for you on Thursday night. We'll be at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium as the Saints will make their first debut. It's a quarterfinal matchup, and they take on a team they're very familiar with, Bishop McDevitt. Berks Catholic and Bishop McDevitt have just played each other in just about every sport in every way possible over the last several years, and they'll meet each other in a quarterfinal matchup on Thursday. We'll have that one for you at 6:45, and we'll have more on Friday as the district playoffs continue. Our coverage will continue when we get back to West Lawn. It's Cedar Crest and Wilson tip-off after this.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away, Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
You're listening to 8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading, the voice of Berks and beyond. We're about to get underway. Again, alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. If you listen to us on the radio and you haven't checked it out yet, don't forget about our video coverage. It's available to you at 8:30 WEEU Sports on YouTube. We had a lot of favorable comments from the coverage over the Berks County playoffs. Had a lot of people check it out as well. It's a great place to tune it in. If you got a smart TV, put it on the big screen and watch high school basketball in your living room, in your den, wherever it is. We got high school basketball, and our coverage, video coverage, will continue all the way through the District 3 playoffs. We are set to begin, and again, R.J. Young at 6'7", Luke Levan at 6'5", and it's the Cedar Crest Falcons in the visiting blue with a white trim who will control the tap going up against the man-to-man defense of the home team, the white and red Wilson Bulldogs. Into Young, kick out into the corner for 3 from Isaac Wolf is no good, but it's rebounded by Jack Warrenevich. Wolf now goes in right at Levan and scores over the top of it.
Great ball moved by the Falcons on that first possession. Maddox Groover opens up against Danny Speaks. Excuse me. No, wait. I'll see that again. I'll check that again. I think that's the other way around. I think McFadden is on Speaks.
Falcons in a 2-3 zone defense. Wilson goes to the baseline for Levan and then back, and then the high post McFadden. John Edom open for a 3 that's no good. McFadden tipped it out to the half-court stripe. Warrenevich and Edom run it down. Warrenevich could not control it, and it's going to go back to the Bulldogs. Good hustle play by Edom to make sure Warren Evans couldn't pick it up clean.
I think it was a great tip by Tommy McFadden, who cleared the ball, tipped it out to near midcourt. Warren Evans tried to track it down and just couldn't control it.
So it's 2-0 Falcons. Wilson has another possession. Again, it's Gruber, Akings, Edom, McFadden, and Levan. With McFadden at the high post, ball's deflected by Speaks, taken away by the Falcons. Wilson turns it over. Up ahead for Custer. To the baseline for Young. Goes right at Levan. Got a piece of it. McFadden controls the rebound, and the Bulldogs are going to push.
Great defense there again by Luke Levan.
Akings open for three. No. Rebounded by Wolf. One and done for Wilson. Wolf pushes it up the floor. Now puts on the brakes. Again, 48 threes on the season for Wolf. Speaks at 27 threes.
Yeah, Gruber's on Speaks. McFadden is on Wolf.
Custer with the defense of Edom gives it up for Warren Evans, guarded by Akins. And now Young a long way from the basket out between the circles. Gives it up for Wolf. The screen and roll isn't there. Falcons with a lot of patience. Wolf runs out of patience, fires up the three, and buries it.
Yeah, he leads the Falcons with 48 threes. He gets on the board second basket for the Falcons. They lead 5-zip.
Wilson sagged off a little bit, and that's not the guy to sag off. He makes them pay for it. It's 5-0 Cedar Crest. McFadden from the high post finds Levan underneath. Great find, and Levan with the finish.
Really nice pass by Tommy McFadden from the high post into Levan on the low post. Nice move by Levan. Great footwork.
A little hesitation to clear the defense and pulls the trigger. Gets the Bulldogs on the board, makes it a 5-2 game. Wolf from the top. He will shoot a three. He's got Young from the top. He's got 6 threes. Here Speaks, pull-up jumper, baseline, in and out, back down again.
He's got a nice little left-handed touch there from the baseline.
Senior's first 2 points makes it a 7-2 game in favor of the Falcons. We got 5:15 left to go in period number 1.
Cedar Crest really has their zone. See, it's way out, trying to stop Gruber.
Akings kick out for Edom, drives and is foul. No, offensive foul as he runs into Warren Evans. Offensive foul on John Edom. Roll it back to Cedar Crest.
Looks like Cedar Crest is satisfied. Let John Edom have the ball on the right wing. They're trying to deny Maddox Gruber the ball, even in the zone.
7-2 Falcons on top. Off the Young screen. Speaks goes all the way to the baseline, all the way to the basket, and scores easily. And Matt Coldren is not happy, and he wants a timeout. An easy run to the basket off the high screen from R.J. Young. And Danny Speaks takes it all the way to the rim, makes the bucket, and makes it a 9-2 game in favor of Cedar Crest.
And that was one of Matt Coldren's concerns, is the way Cedar Crest offense runs. They like to dribble, drive, and either go to the basket or to dish. They do a lot of that, and so far, Wilson's been unable to stop it, down 9-2. I'd have more concerns at the other end. That zone has caused Wilson problem. Now, the next to last trip, they got the ball in the high post to McFadden, who found Levan. I think that's going to be the recipe to solve that extended 2-3 zone.
First half of tonight's game brought to you in part by Crosskeys Insurance, an independent insurance agency that can help you find the right policy for auto, home, business, or life insurance needs. With offices in both Reading and Hamburg, Crosskeys Insurance will be the key to your security. 9-2 Falcons after the Wilson timeout. Bulldogs have the basketball. Edom thought about the three, swings around. Gruber won't think about it. He'll shoot the long three from the top. It's no good. Tipped out of bounds off the hands of Akings. It'll go over to Cedar Crest. With that, our first substitution will be Cam Zulinger, who's been really good for the Bulldogs in this postseason. 6-foot senior comes in. John Edom will come out.
Yeah, Zulinger has done a really nice job in the last 2 games for Wilson. He's got like 11 rebounds in the last 2 games.
He guards Custer, the point guard, who gives it up for Speaks, guarded by McFadden. Tries to get around him, can't. Wolf with the catch, tries to pull the trigger, drives into traffic, is tied up, jump ball. Possession arrow will favor the Wilson Bulldogs.
So that's a first turnover for Cedar Crest. Nice job. Nice defense on the ball by Maddox Gruber.
First substitution for Cedar Crest, Owen Rieger. 5'10 senior will check in, as does Dylan Groff, a 5'11 senior, as Warren Evich and Wolf will come out for the Falcons.
Both teams, a lot of experience, a lot of seniors on both rosters.
Halfway through quarter number 1, it's 9-2 Cedar Crest on top. Gruber Speaks out in his face in that extended defense. Now it looks like they're falling back. Nope, no, it is still in the zone. Now they come with Levan all the way out at the top of the key. And into the corner for Akings. Got to be careful with Speaks, who gets a lot of deflections. He stole one earlier. McFadden, high post is Zulinger. Kicks it around Akings, top of the key for three. There it is.
Yeah, Akings really struggled at Santander Arena with his shot. Scored just 6 points in the semifinal, a combined 6 points in the semifinal final. He makes his first shot at three.
His 39th three of the season, pulls the Bulldogs within 9-5 with 3:20 left to go in the first quarter. Trying to go to the corner was Groff, cut off by Akings. Young at the top of the key will give it up for Rieger. And then back to Custer and back to Rieger in the left wing. To the low post is Young. Double team. Kick it back out. McFadden closes it back out. Great defense right now by the Bulldogs, who have picked up the intensity after that timeout.
Yeah, I think their head coach got them fired up a little bit. He didn't look happy.
Custer, nowhere to go. Ends up dishing it back. Long possession here. It's going to be an illegal screen called against Cedar Crest on Jackson Custer.
That was a terrific defensive possession by Wilson. Fueled by, adding Cam Zulinger to the mix, and now Michael Glover comes in for Luke Levan. But adding Cam Zulinger to the mix, he adds so many intangibles and does so many little things well for Wilson.
6'3" sophomore, as Rich said. Michael Glover now will check in as Luke Levan will take a breather. 2:45 left to go in the first. 9-5 Falcons. Also in the game is Cameron Tirado, 5'7" junior. He's guarding Gruber. Zulinger baseline. Glover wasn't expecting the pass. Turnover right back from Wilson.
Yeah, great idea by Zulinger. Glover just didn't anticipate it, as you said.
So the Bulldogs' third turnover gives it right back to Cedar Crest. Speaks, brings the ball up the floor with Custer off the floor.
Bob, in their last meeting here in January, I'll wait till
Rieger
this happens.
beats Zulinger off the dribble and takes it in for the two.
Yeah, very dangerous turnover on Wilson.
Now Wilson
on the
turned
inbound.
over the inbounds pass.
Not sure exactly what happened.
I think Maddox Gruber either handed it off to McFadden or he stepped over the line.
Yeah.
But it was on the inbounds play, and the Bulldogs committed a violation, and the Falcons get it right back. To Speaks for the catch and shoot three. No. Gruber pulls down the rebound. Maddox Gruber wants to go, and he's fouled from behind on a push by Tirado.
Bob, the last time they played here, it was a month ago. Wilson got out to a 33-16 lead at the half. Quite a difference here tonight. Wilson down 6 with about 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
John Edom back in for the Bulldogs. Correll Akings out with 2:05 left to go in the first. It's 11-5, Cedar Crest on top. McFadden drives, poked away from behind by Speaks. Last touch by McFadden. Another Bulldog turnover.
Very uncharacteristic of Wilson. 5 turnovers here in the first 6 minutes.
Isaac Wolf now will check back in for Cedar Crest. Danny Speaks takes his first breather.
Reading, we know all about Reading and the kind of defense the Red Knights play. But Matt Cauldron said Cedar Crest might not be as quick as Reading, but they're very handsy, just like the Red Knights.
They lead at 11-5 with 1:50 to go. Here's a dump for R.J. Young on the corner. They kind of forgot about him of late offensively. Pull-up jumper and a turnaround jumper. A wild shot by Groff is rebounded by Zulinger. And the Bulldogs again will look to push with 1:35 left to go in the quarter. McFadden to the baseline for Glover. Screen open, Gruber. Catch and shoot three, yes.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Maddox Gruber and Carl Akings with threes this quarter.
They double screen to get Maddox Gruber open. He gets his first bucket, pulls the Bulldogs within 3 with a 3. And here's a hand check foul on Gruber, a little bit of a hold. That's part of this postseason is you adjust to officiating of a different league. This is a mid-pen officiating crew with a Berks and a Lancaster Lebanon League crew teams.
Yeah.
So Gruber picks up his first on the hold. But that foul, I'm not talking about this is styles of play. Like that foul doesn't get called Friday night in Santander Arena.
No, that's 100% correct.
And you have to adjust to that. That's what postseason basketball is about. Falcons have it back. They're up 11-8 with less than a minute to go. Here's a catch and shoot three by Wolf. It's no good. Tipped and controlled by John Edom, and the Bulldogs have it back. Chance to cut it to 1 or tie it with a 3 in the closing 45 seconds of the first quarter.
Cedar Crest in man-to-man. That's a change.
Glover with a favorable size advantage. The flop doesn't get called. Glover works his way free but missed the shot. Michael Glover just using his size to advantage but could not finish. And ultimately, Cedar Crest gets it back. Tommy Smith, I believe, wants one shot to finish off this first quarter.
Yeah, Glover had a chance because R.J. Young went to the bench a minute ago just for a rest at the end of the quarter. Had a chance to score inside, and I don't think he really realized that because he could have gone up stronger than that and just didn't finish.
Down to 10 seconds to go in the hands of Speaks. Guarded by McFadden. Now with 7 seconds to go. Speaks goes to work. Nice crossover dribble. Dumps it off to the baseline. Groff wasn't expecting it, and ultimately Cedar Crest will not get a shot off to finish the first quarter. Maybe a little bit too unselfish on the part of Danny Speaks, and the Falcons come away empty on the final possession of the first. They do lead it after 1. District 3 6A boys first round matchup. It's Cedar Crest 11, Wilson 8. Back to West Lawn after this.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA-crafted crunch.
Are your garage doors noisy, squeaky, or moving unevenly? Do they snap, crackle, or pop? Having trouble opening and closing them? Don't be left sitting in the driveway. It's time for a tune-up from Overhead Door. Starting at just $99, we'll inspect, lube, and adjust your garage doors so they operate smoothly. Call today and ask for a tune-up special from Overhead Door, your hometown garage door company since 1965. Overhead Door, we're more than just doors. OverheadDoorReading.com.
A fast start for the Cedar Crest Falcons. They jumped out to a 9-2 first quarter lead. Matt Coldren called a timeout. The Bulldogs settle in a little bit, or maybe ramp it up a little bit, and they close it to within 3 as we start the second quarter alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. 11-8, District 3 6A opening round matchup. Again, the winner of this moves on to play either Chambersburg or Carlisle on Friday night. The loser season is done. Inside R.J. Young works his way down, gets himself a little bit close, and up a little hook shot over Luke Levan for his first field goal.
Faked right and went left and went over Levan for the bucket.
13-8 as a result of R.J. Young's first 2. Maddox Gruber, Tommy McFadden, Carell Akings, John Edom, Luke Levan, the starting 5 back out there for the Bulldogs to start the second quarter.
Falcons back in that zone, that extended 2-3 zone, trying to cut off Maddox Gruber.
Skipping around from Akings to Gruber, who will go inside with a little floater in the paint. No good. R.J. Young with a rebound. Outlet pass up ahead for Danny Speaks. Good job by the Bulldogs to get back, and Speaks will wait for help. Speaks doesn't use the screen of R.J. Young, gives it up for Custer and around for Jack Warrenevich. Starting 5 back out there for the Falcons to start the second quarter. Baseline look for Custer, has to save it, and it was deflected off of Akings. Last touch by the Bulldogs. Jackson Custer and Cedar Crest almost turned it over. Wilson will keep, Falcons will keep it.
Again, Matt Coldren said before the game, Cedar Crest likes to do a lot of dribbling and driving, and we've seen a lot of that so far. A lot of screens, too.
It's Young, Speaks, Custer, Wolf, and Warrenevich on the floor right now for the Falcons, who lead it by 5. Working that weave around the outside against the man-to-man defense for the Bulldogs. Wolf, who scored the first 5 points of the game for Cedar Crest, gives it up for Custer and around for Speaks. McFadden closes in on him. Trying to get it to Young, he can't. Now Wolf will get it to him on the baseline. Gruber helped out and left Wolf alone, and he buries the 3.
Yeah, Maddox Gruber cannot do that because Wolf is a very dangerous three-point shooter. He's got 50 of them. He had 48 coming into tonight. He has 2 of them tonight.
He's been left alone twice, and he's made Wilson pay for them both times. It's 16-8. Cedar Crest up by 8. Their largest. Akings for 3. Matches it.
Again, a really good sign for Wilson. Akings with a pair of 3s so far.
Right back to a 5-point game with 6 minutes left to go in the first half. 16-11 Falcons. Speaks trying to get by McFadden. Readjust. Drives. No. Young with an offensive rebound and a kick out. Cedar Crest has another look. Speak trying to get baseline on McFadden, who took it away, and he stepped on the end line.
Speak stepped on the end line. Fourth turnover of the game for Cedar Crest. First one here in the second quarter.
I think a lot of people just think that Tommy McFadden is a player they can beat, and they just can't.
They can't. He is a tremendous defensive player.
So the Bulldogs will get it back, down by 5. That's 16-11. Akings with 2 threes, Gruber with 1 for the Bulldogs as well. To the baseline for Levan. Back to Gruber, and now McFadden in the corner. Now Levan on the post up with Young guarding it. Shading him the right side. He'll come with his right side, his little
baby
right
hook.
Side hook. Yep. What's good for one is good for the other. Levan does to him what Young did back, and it's now 16-13. Luke Levan's second field goal.
He's playing with a lot of confidence right now, coming off his performance last week in the Berks playoffs.
5 minutes to go in the half. Cedar Crest with the basketball and a 3-point lead. They've led it from the get-go. To the corner for Speaks. Not going to try to baseline this time. Now on a switch, Edom is guarding Speaks. Wolf off the screen from Young. Freed up for another 3. Is in and out. Young gets in and gets the rebound. Aking stripped it from him. Ends up in Warren Evich's hand. Baseline for 2 is good. Akings had the strip, but an unfortunate bounce for the Bulldogs. It went right to Jack Warrenevich, who deposited for his first field goal. Makes it a 5-point lead again at 18-13 Cedar Crest.
Cedar Crest has done some damage against Wilson on the offensive boards. Bulldogs, as Matt Coldren said before the game, they got to do a great job of boxing out.
Swinging around left side, Akings for 3 again. 3 in a row from 3.
Really big sign for Wilson. Got Carell Akings with 9 points so far.
He may have matched his output in the arena.
He only had 6. Yeah. The last 2 games, 4 and 2.
There you go. So he's better than that already. We still have less inside of 4 minutes to go in the first half. 18-16. Bulldogs back to within a deuce after the Akings 3. Groff back in for Cedar Crest. Also back in for the Falcons is Rieger.
Matt Coldren said that Akings had a terrific practice yesterday, shot the ball extremely well. So far, so good.
Cameron Tirado also in for Cedar Crest. He dribbles himself into the middle, kicks it out for R.J. Young, who makes the 3.
Yeah, as you said, Bob, he could shoot the 3. Nice form on that one.
His 7th of the season puts the Falcons up by 5. Inside again for Levan, kicks it out for Zulinger. And now waits for Gruber off the screen. They double team him. Gruber hesitates, drives into a defense, and then a hand check foul going to be called against the Falcons. Dylan Groff. His first foul in the second quarter on either side with 3:31 left to go in the half. Bulldogs will inbound underneath their own bucket, down by 21-16. McFadden backdoor cut for Zulinger. One more pass for Levan and a hook for the baseline.
Really nice sharing the basketball by the Wilson Bulldogs. Levan has 6.
And it's a 3-point advantage for Cedar Crest at 3:20 to go. Wolf, McFadden fights through the screen, rolls it back to the screener in R.J. Young. Going to try to dribble in on Levan, up into traffic, and Zulinger on the help fouls. Foul, I believe, is going to be called on Zulinger. It is.
Team first of the second quarter. Each team with 1 team foul here in the quarter.
Not a shooting foul. The Falcons will inbound as underneath as well. Outside for Wolf. Gruber closes in on him. Drives, kicks it back. Young for 3 again. In and out. McFadden flies in and grabs the rebound.
Man, can he jump. My goodness.
3 minutes left to go in the half. Wilson down by 3, has the basketball. Zulinger inside for Levan, and McFadden ends up on the floor. Somebody fighting through the screen, knocked him to the deck, and it's
Warren Avage. No, I think it's Warren Avage. Yeah. And it's his second. Or his first, team second.
Yep. And so Levan.
Or Rieger, I'm sorry, not Warren Avage, Rieger. Thank you.
Levan will come out, Glover back in. Bulldogs keep it with 2:55 to be exact left to go in the first half. Screen open, McFadden, catch and shoot, corner 3 for the tie. No. Ball's on the floor on a rebound. Body's tangled up, no whistle. Cedar Crest ends up with it in the hands of Tirado. Pushes, kicks it to the baseline, goes Groff. Kick out into the seats.
Both fans on that Wilson possession wanted, there was a collision of bodies. Both sides wanted fouls. No call.
So in the aftermath of it all, Wilson will get the ball back. Caden Tirado now will check into the game. And also into the game for Wilson for the first time comes Christel Hunsinger. 6'2 senior will check in. Michael Glover comes out. Bulldogs have it back. 2:35 left to go in half number 1. It's 21-18 Cedar Crest. Gruber, Zulinger, McFadden, Hunsinger, Akings. Backdoor
nice
cut.
set.
Gruber for 2.
Zulinger with another assist. He's got 3. What a set by Wilson.
And it's a 1-point game at 21-20. 5 now for Gruber. 2:15 to go.
Wilson in his zone. Switches out of its man.
Danny Speaks, the lone starter on the floor right now for the Falcons, and Wilson a little bit overplaying defensively. Poked away by McFadden. Scooped up by McFadden. Finds Gruber, who's fouled and will shoot 2 for the lead. McFadden with a defensive play. The fine for Gruber, and now we're going to get a technical foul. A little jawing afterwards on a hard foul by Maddox Gruber, and there's a T assigned. Let's see if it's 1 or 2. It's 1 on Dylan Groff. The question is whether there was a second.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hard foul, but it was just typical. It wasn't anything malicious.
It was
like
after that is where the T came.
Number 3.
So the original foul is on Speaks, and then it's the foul on Groff.
On Groff is a technical foul.
Correct. So this should be a 4-shot foul
and
coming
Wilson
up from Maddox
Ball.
Gruber.
We saw that happen.
Yep.
In the championship game. In the fourth quarter against Wilson.
So, again, the personal foul was on Speaks, which was a 2-shot foul. Maddox Gruber got up and must have said something, and Owen Rieger came in to try to contribute his 2 cents, and he got teed up. Gruber makes the first and the second, which gives Wilson its first lead. He's going to get 2 more shots now because of the technical, and as Rich said, Wilson will get the basketball. This could be a 6 or a 7-point play. Right now it's 3 with another free throw coming up.
This is Wilson, as Bob said, it's Wilson's first lead. I thought he said 23. You thought it was Rieger?
No, the first foul was on Speaks.
Yeah.
The second foul was on 23, which is Groff.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Yep.
Okay.
So
now
Gruber makes all 4. It's 24-21, and now Wilson gets the ball.
So that could be our play of the game. let's see what happens here.
So again, it's a 4-point play, pending what Wilson does here with the basketball with a minute 50 to go in the first half. They're up top 24-21 on 4 straight from Maddox Gruber at the free throw line.
And Cedar Crest back in its zone one more time.
Hunsinger, Zulinger, McFadden, Akers, and Gruber and Akings on the floor. Kick out for Akings. They close out on it. Around to Gruber between the circles. To Zulinger. Away from that high post and that 2-3. Now they give it to him, but he has to come away. Bulldogs being very patient right now.
I think Wilson's fine with this because they have the 3-point lead.
Coldren say only if they go man. So he wants to pull them out of the zone.
Yep.
And if they don't come out of the zone, they're going to play catch. 1 minute left to go in the half. A little surprised by this, only in the sense of the momentum switch.
Yeah, no doubt Wilson had the momentum, but I think Matt Coldren wants, if they're going to do this, he wants to go to the half with the lead because they've trailed for most of the first half.
Down by as many as 8 at 16-8 early on in the second quarter.
And obviously that's what Wilson's doing. And Cedar Crest is staying in its zone. They're content with Wilson running clock.
Because he's right now, Tommy Smith has his starting 5 on the floor. So I was thinking maybe he was just trying to buy some time as well after the little dust up. But those were some of the guys off his bench.
Groff is the only one with 2 fouls.
Right.
Everybody else has 1 or none.
So now with 20 seconds to go and now 15, Wilson will go to work.
Cedar Crest switched into its man.
Gruber off the Hunsinger screen, takes it all the way to the hole and finishes with that left hand.
With his left hand, Bob, that dangerous left hand.
Cedar Crest, Young from half court. Good if it goes, it does not.
Wow.
And the Bulldogs end up scoring the final 10 points of half number 1, and they take a 5-point lead to the locker room. After 1 half of play, District 3 6A opening round game, it is the Wilson Bulldogs 26, the Cedar Crest Falcons 21. We'll take a timeout, back with our halftime show right after this.
Savage 61 Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is once again the #1 rated auto dealership in Pennsylvania. Thinking it's time to trade up for something newer? We offer the most insane trade-in values you'll find anywhere. Whether you're looking for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, our dedicated team will make sure you drive away happy. Visit us today at savage61.com and see why we're Pennsylvania's top choice.
UECU is a credit union that understands Pennsylvania, what it means to grow up here, raise a family, start a business. And we're committed to being your financial partner for life. With competitive rates, exclusive member discounts, and modern technology, UECU offers personalized banking that will make you feel right at home. Visit bankingforpa.org and sign up for UECU membership through our partner association, the Pennsylvania Consumer Council. UECU, banking that understands home.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
Tonight's halftime show is brought to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. When you need a plumber, get a good one. Locally owned and operated for over 50 years, Lincoln Plumbing has the experience to help from a leaky faucet to a whole bathroom remodel. Call 610-376-0863 for Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, as honest as the name. Alongside Rich Garcella, my name is Bob McCool. District 3 6A opening round matchup in boys basketball. Ironically enough, when we talked about this rivalry that has developed in the district playoffs between Wilson and Cedar Crest, Wilson girls played Cedar Crest last night as well, and they won and moved on. They'll play Dallastown on Thursday night in their quarterfinals. Wilson Bulldogs boys team also looking to move on to the quarterfinals. They'll take on the winner of the game between Chambersburg and Carlisle. That game being played at Chambersburg with a 7 o'clock tip-off, as they all are across District 3 in tonight's matchups. Chambersburg is the 4 seed. Carlisle is the 13 seed. We're at 26-21. Wilson on top. Bulldogs fell to behind early at 9-2. Closed it to within 11-8 after a bit of a loud timeout by Matt Coldren. Got his team refocused a little bit. The Bulldogs closed it within 3 at 11-8. However, Cedar Crest came out and scored the first 5 points of the second quarter, opened up their biggest lead at 16-8. Wilson closed that thanks in large part to a couple of threes from Carell Akings. And then they got Maddox Gruber involved, and Gruber with the game-changing play at this particular point in time after a Tommy McFadden steal led to a run-out for Wilson. Gruber was fouled, and afterwards a technical foul assessed to Cedar Crest as well. Gruber turned into a 4-point play. Wilson then ultimately held on to the basketball for another minute and a half, ran out the end of the second quarter, and goes to the locker room with a 5-point lead. So that really was a elongated 6-point possession for Wilson.
Yeah, Wilson took advantage of a technical foul on Reading in the fourth quarter, Friday night in the championship game. And they also, I think it was a 6-point play. Gruber made 4 free throws, and then Wilson scored off it. Same thing here. Gruber with a terrific move. We talked about it, Bob, you talked about it Friday night, how well he uses his left hand. And we saw it there, right kind of underneath the 6'7" R.J. Young. Bob, I got a couple scores involving Berks County schools. In 6A boys, Governor Mifflin trails Warwick 23-21 at the half. That game is at Lidditz. And in 5A, Middletown 25, Exeter 24 at the half over in Rifton.
So they right now looking to extend their season, and in most cases, depending on which bracket you're in, if you're in 6A, 8 teams make the state playoffs out of District 3 in 2025. So 16 teams are in it. If you win, as in Wilson, if they win, if Muhlenberg wins their game, Governor Mifflin wins their game in Class 6A, they have already qualified for the PIAA playoffs, which obviously will not start until the first weekend in March.
I got another 6A score involving a Berks
I
school.
knew you would.
Muhlenberg leads Central Dauphin 33-29 at the half in Harrisburg. So that would be an upset.
Yeah,
that's a 6-11 game, I think, right?
That's correct. And CD, if I'm not mistaken, dropped 90 on Muhlenberg earlier this season. If not 90,
correct.
it was high 80s, so something to that effect. It was a whooping. I can guarantee you that much from Matt Flowers and their perspective. But the Mules on top at halftime as our halftime show continues, presented to you by Lincoln Plumbing and Heating. But again, the Bulldogs with a great job. And I'm going to go back to that timeout, Rich, because our perspective here at the scorers table at West Lawn, we get to hear and see some interesting things sometimes. And we didn't have to see anything. We could only hear what was going on in that timeout. Because one of the things, and we get to, when we visit with Matt Coldren in the pregame in the locker room, we get to see what he's writing on the board and what he's going to talk to his kids about when they come back in the locker room. And one of the things that he had on there was playoff mentality. And that's getting back to, again, what happened last year. They won the county title. They went to Lebanon to play Cedar Crest in the first round, and they were not able to win that basketball game. And that quickly, you go from county champions to spring sports in a matter of 32 minutes of basketball. And I think that's what that timeout was about, getting them refocused and getting them realizing, hey, it's 9-2, and you are not getting it done. They were getting beat on defense, and that is the cardinal sin in West Lawn.
It is the most sudden thing to happen to a high school athlete is playing in a district game and losing that first round game, and that your season is over. Exeter is in 5A, so they have a chance. They'll continue playing win or lose tonight. But for Wilson, Muhlenberg, and Governor Mifflin, it's win or go home tonight. And if you win, you're guaranteed 4 games, not 3. You play 3 games in districts and one, you at least one in the state tournament. So this is a big deal. Wilson has a chance to continue its season for another 2 weeks, or spring sports.
It's that simple. And right now, thanks to that last late surge in the second quarter, the Bulldogs are in good spot. We'll see how Cedar Crest responds to what transpired over the course of the last 2 minutes of the first half, where the Bulldogs took their first lead and ultimately extended it into the locker room at halftime. It's Wilson 26, Cedar Crest 21. We'll take a break and come back with more of our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show. Right after this, you'll listen to high school basketball on 8:30 a.m. WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Shop, earn, and save with the Redner's Rewards Program. Purchase select items at Redner's and unlock big savings on groceries and fuel. Redeem your points in-store and fill your shopping cart with fantastic deals like buy 3, get the 4th free. Save on fuel, too. Enjoy discounts at Redner's Quick Stop, Speedway, and many other locations. Get 5 cents off per gallon for every $50 spent. Plus, discover tons of special offers, digital deals, and surprise savings available to rewards customers. Start saving today. Sign up at the store or online at rednersmarkets.com.
26-21, and Wilson on top of Cedar Crest as our Lincoln Plumbing Heating halftime show continues. Individually for the Falcons, Isaac Wolf is their top scorer with 8, including a couple of threes. 5 points for R.J. Young, their big guy. 4 for Danny Speaks, their top scorer. Jack Warrenevich with 2, and 2 for Owen Rieger off the Falcon bench, and their total of 21. For the Bulldogs, good news and bad news. The good news is Carell Akings appears to have refound his shot. He's got 3 threes in the first half. The bad news is only 3 Bulldogs scored in half number 1. Mattis Gruber with 11, Akings with 9, and Luke Levan with 6.
Well, a similar thing happened last year in the opening round at Cedar Crest. Akings had 18, Gruber 15, and Levan 10, and the rest of the team had 7, and that ended up in a 55-50 loss for Wilson in the end of their season. They've got momentum. They did a great job protecting the basketball in the second quarter after turning it over 5 times in the first 8 minutes. They didn't turn it over at all in the second quarter. And they also did a much better job with defensive rebounding, which was a positive factor for Cedar Crest in the first quarter.
Our postseason coverage continues as we'll have more basketball on Thursday night and Friday night. We just have no idea where we're going on Friday, but Thursday we do. We'll be at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium on Thursday night. We'll see Snip Esley and his Berks Catholic Saints, who are the number 1 seed in the boys 4A bracket. They host Bishop McDevitt. We'll have that one for you beginning at 6:45. I want to thank the good folks at WEEU Credit Union for jumping on board as being our part of our postseason sponsorship package. Happy to have them on board as an addition to all the other great sponsors that bring you high school basketball here on WEEU as we get set to start period number 3. Bulldogs have the basketball and a lead at 26-21.
And they have a chance to extend this run to 12. It's that they're on a 10-0 run here. They were down 21-16, up 26-21. They have the ball to begin the half.
To the high post is McFadden. Kick it back for Gruber. He's going to pull up for 2. That's short. Rebounded by Young. Jack Warrenevich up ahead for Isaac Wolf, along with Young, Jackson Custer, and Danny Speaks, the 5 who start for Tommy Smith's Falcons. Warrenevich inside, a good look for Young. Spins and cannot finish against Levan, who pulls down the rebound. Good find by Warrenevich, but Young missed it, and the Bulldogs have it back. Both teams come up empty on their first possession. Edom, entry pass for Levan, too far away. Turnover right back by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it was low. It was at Luke Levan's ankles. Just not a good pass by John Edom, and he knows it.
Wilson turned it over 5 times in that difficult first quarter. When they got control of the basketball game in the second, they did not turn it over. They're 6th in total. Speaks off the screen, pulls up too strong. Young with another offensive rebound. Kick out for Wolf. That's no good from 3. Akings with a rebound up ahead for Gruber. Great catch, but he could not finish. And rebounded by Warrenevich. Right back comes Cedar Crest.
Yeah, you don't see Maddox Gruber miss many of those.
Speaks, good find for Young. No good, but he's fouled.
That's a good foul.
Great look by Danny Speaks. Sends R.J. Young to the basket and ultimately to the foul line. Foul's going to be called on John Edom. That's going to be his second. And R.J. Young at the striper. He is a 60% free throw shooter. In the Lancaster 11 League Championship game, he had 14 against Warwick. His season high was 23 in a LL Section 1 game against Manheim Township. Makes the first and the second. 7 points for R.J. Young, and it's a 3-point Bulldog lead at 26-23. Ends the Wilson run of the final 10 of the second quarter.
Interesting, Wilson on its first possession tried to get the ball to Luke Levan. We've seen that in recent weeks.
McFadden at the high post. Everybody sagged away from him, so he shoots the foul shot. R.J. Young with the outlet pass. The defensive back of Maddox Gruber intercepts it. Wilson gets it right back. Akings, great feed to Levan for 2.
Great find by Correll Akings.
R.J. Young was actually officially the backup quarterback for Cedar Crest, and Maddox Gruber just intercepted it. He threw a high pass, and Gruber picked it off, and it led to a layup, and Danny Speaks spins it back the other way and finishes at the rack for 2.
Really pretty spin move by Danny Speaks.
He's got 6. The lead is back to 3 for Wilson at 28-25. High post again is McFadden. They're going to keep sagging away from McFadden until he makes them pay, and he misses the foul line jumper.
Yeah, they're giving him that shot.
And the Cedar Crest Falcons have it back, down by 3. Wolf off the screen, gives it up for Custer instead, and now to Warrenevich in the corner. Speaks, now guarded by Gruber on a switch. He takes him baseline, misses the shot. McFadden has the rebound. Up ahead for Gruber. Gruber going to take it all the way inside and score 2 right up and over Young.
Nice move by Maddox Gruber from his left hand to his right hand. He's got 13.
And the lead is back to 5 with 5 minutes left to go in the third. Wilson 30, Cedar Crest 25. The Bulldogs got themselves caught up in a little bit of a switch last time, and that's why Speaks tried to take it to Gruber. Here's a lob from Speaks to Young, poked away by Levan. It's going to stay Cedar Crest basketball.
Good low post defense by Luke Levan.
Falcons inbound underneath, back to Custer, the inbounder. Pulls up for a jumper for 2, no. Rebound, great box out, leads to Gruber picking up the rebound on the bounce on the floor. Up ahead for Edom, blocked and fouled by Custer. John Edom will shoot 2.
Wilson when they like to run. The Bulldogs like to run when they get an opportunity, and that time they did. Edom going to the line to shoot 2.
Foul on Jackson Custer is his second. Falcons first. Edom at the free throw line on the season is a 53% free throw shooter. He's perfect on the first, his first point of the night as well. Owen Rieger will check into the game now for Cedar Crest, and Jack Warrenevich will come out. Edom shoots a second, and that's good. Did not look like a 58% free throw shooter. Those two.
This is Wilson's biggest lead at 7, I believe.
It is indeed. 32-25 with 4:30 left to go in the third. Speaks off the Young screen, going to take it inside. No good. Tipped around, controlled by Levan. Run out for Gruber. Gruber trying to beat everybody down the floor. A foul before the shot. Yeah. I believe, they're going to call it before the shot.
That was the right call.
Yep.
Absolutely the right call.
Owen Rieger with the foul to prevent Gruber, who did score with a bucket, but the foul beforehand on Rieger will put Gruber at the line instead. Or actually, we'll give it to him underneath.
Yeah, he was on the floor. And the whistle blew long before he went to the basket.
Foul is on Rieger. That is his second. And the Falcons' second as well.
Bob Zulinger in for Edom for Wilson. Again, Zulinger gave the Bulldogs a lift in the first half, as he's done the last few games.
Bulldogs working around the perimeter. Now to Gruber at the top off the Aching screen. Gruber in traffic, draws more contact, but traveled first.
That's a tough call. He got bumped. It's a tough call.
And that's what the Bulldog bench thought. They thought the foul was before the contact or before the travel.
Yeah. There was definite contact before the walk.
So Cedar Crest gets it back. We're halfway through the third quarter. Wilson on top by 7. Speaks off the Custer screen, kicks it out for Young, and around to the right side for Wolf. Gruber closes out on him, kick it back for Custer, fakes the 3. Zulinger recovers. This is Rieger on a baseline move. No, rebounded by McFadden. Here come the Bulldogs back quickly. Cedar Crest gets back and almost stolen away by Custer. Ends up in Zulinger's hand for 3. No. Long rebound by Young, almost taken away by Akings. Speaks gets it back. Up ahead for Rieger, off the glass and 2.
Really nice move by Rieger in the open court. Cam Zulinger got the loose ball, saw that there was nobody on him, and decided to shoot the 3.
Been quite a few
long rebound, goes out to Cedar Crest, which starts the fast break.
Quite a few ragged possessions for a couple teams who like to possess the basketball in this third quarter. Wilson's lead is 5. Gruber to pull up in the foul line, makes it 7.
Matt Coldren said if he goes off, we're going to win. He's got 15, and we're only in 3 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, off is a relative term. He averages 18.3 a game.
Well, he averaged more than 20. He's averaged more than 20 points in his last 6 games.
He's got his team back up by 7 at 34-27 with 2:40 to go. Speaks, kicks it out. Custer going to fake, shoot the 3. No. Rebounded by Gruber. Chance for the Bulldogs to extend. 1 and done for Cedar Crest. The ball in the hands of Maddox Gruber. Aching screens. He gives it up. They swing it around for Zulinger. Zulinger drives. Kicks it to the corner for Akings. Akings goes baseline. Dumps it for Levan. Missed the shot. Rebounded by Speaks. Speaks kind of tangled up Levan just a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Levan had control of the ball going up.
Young for 3. No. Rebounded by Akings. Lots of 1 and done for Cedar Crest, especially if R.J. Young's going to shoot 3s.
Yeah, I think Wilson would take that all night.
2 minutes to go in the third. Wilson's lead is 7. They led it by 5 at the break. Gruber off the Levan screen. Long 3 is well short and rebounded by Wolf on the run out up ahead for Young, and one more pass for Speaks, who will beat everybody down the floor for a layup.
And that's the problem with the long rebounds off the missed 3. It usually starts a fast break, and that's what happened for Cedar Crest there.
And a timeout called by the Falcons. It'll be a full timeout for Cedar Crest with 1:47 remaining in the third quarter. Wilson's lead is 5, 34-29, Bulldogs on top. This third quarter brought to you in part by Cross Keys Insurance, an independent insurance agency that can help you find the right policy for auto, home, business, or life insurance needs with offices in both Reading and Hamburg. Cross Keys Insurance will be the key to your security. Wilson's lead is 5. It's exactly what it was after 3 quarters. Bulldogs did push it up to 7 a couple times in this third quarter, but after the bucket on the fast break with a combination of Smith to Speaks for 2. Danny Speaks now with 8, and Wilson's lead is down to 5 as a result at 34-29, leading to the Cedar Crest timeout. Both teams with 4 of their 5 timeouts still left.
Let's see if Wilson can work the basketball inside to Luke Levan. Well, Luke Levan's out. I'm sorry. Michael Glover's in the game for him. But Levan's got 8 points. He's come on strong in the second half in recent games, starting with that overtime win over Muhlenberg here 2 weeks ago tonight. Also in the semifinals in the championship game of the Berks playoffs, did the same thing.
RJ Young, Isaac Wolf, Dylan Groff, Cam Tirado, and Owen Rieger, the 5 on the floor. As McFadden beats his man off the dribble, up and under with RJ Young closing in on him. McFadden comes up empty, and Cedar Crest has it back. Here's Wolf off the script, off the 3. Glover closed out on him and bumped him and fouled him.
No doubt about it. Yep, yeah, there was contact.
So Isaac Wolf will be at the free throw line and shoot 3 as Michael Glover ran into the three-point shooter.
Bob, I don't know if this is because of Cedar Crest's defense or not. Corella Akings, who had 3 threes in the first half, has no field goal attempts here late in this quarter, late in the third quarter.
Wolf, a 66% free throw shooter at the free throw line for the first time tonight. Rich said they're only 62% on the season. They were not at the line in the first half. They are 3 for 3 and now 3 for 4 at the line as Wolf misses the second of 3.
Bob, we got a score from Lidditz at the end of 3 quarters. Warwick 39, Governor Mifflin 37.
Warwick, who finished in second place in the LL after losing to Cedar Crest in the final at 45-40. Wolf ends up making 2 out of 3, so he's in double figures for the 15th time this season. And Cedar Crest is back to within 3 at 34-31. Jack Warrenevich back into the game. Danny Speaks also back in for Cedar Crest. The big man, RJ Young, is out, with Luke Levan also out right now for Wilson.
And Cedar Crest goes to a man-to-man defense without Young in the game.
Glover drives and tripped and fouled. I'm going to guess this is going to be on Dylan Groff.
And
both of them ended up on the floor.
Yep, that's his third.
So Groff's third is Cedar Crest's third as well. Not a shooting foul. Wilson will inbound underneath. Zulinger, Glover, Gruber, Akings, and McFadden on the floor right now for Wilson, with Tirado guarding Gruber. See if the Bulldogs don't try to figure out a way to take advantage of the very rare size opportunity for Gruber inside against the 5'7" Tirado. Inside they go to Glover with a man on his back. It's
a Groff?
It's Groff again, and it's going to be another foul as he went up in the air and landed on Glover's back. And like a drop of water in a duck's back, Michael Glover just kind of threw him off, and Groff got the worst of it, picked up the foul.
And that's his team fourth here in the third quarter. Young back in the game for him.
With 54 seconds left to go in the third, Wilson again will inbound underneath its own bucket on top by 3. Again, they look for Glover. Young closes out on it. Here's Gruber driving on Tirado, tied up, good help defensively, turnover Bulldogs. Up ahead is Warrenevich. Wilson gets back. Bounce pass to the corner for Speaks, and the Falcons will reset with 40 seconds to go in the third, down by 3.
They may want to play for 1 here. Let's see.
Speaks, Tirado, Rieger, Young, and Warrenevich, the 5 on the floor for the Falcons. Tirado drives, he gives it back for Warrenevich with 25. I think Rich is right. Tommy Smith, I think, wants 1 shot to finish off the third, down by 3. Wolf, their best three-point shooter, not on the floor. Speaks does have 27 on the season. He has the ball guarded by McFadden out near half court. Going to go to work on him with 6 and 5. Pulls up for the jumper for 2. No. Warrenevich flies in for the rebound. Could not control it. Cedar Crest will turn it back to Wilson with 0.6 of a second left to go. Zulinger from three-quarter court will not go. And that will end the third for somebody. 8 minutes left to go in their season. After 3 quarters, Wilson 34, Cedar Crest 31. We'll have those final 8 when we get back to West Lawn after this.
This is XYZ Insurance. How can I help?
I have a question about my home policy.
Okay, question about phone policy.
home policy.
Okay, gnome policy.
HOME, home.
Technology is great, but sometimes it's better to talk with a real person. With Erie Insurance, you have a caring, independent agent who's with you from beginning to end. Your Erie agent is Cross Keys Insurance. Get a quote today at crosskeysins.com. Go to erieinsurance.com for company licensure and product details.
Hi, I'm Mike Kuhn with Kuhn Funeral Homes. Since 1937, our family has been committed to serving our community. We now have 3 active generations, as I have the honor of working with my father and son. With 5 convenient locations to serve our neighbors, Kuhn Funeral Homes continues to dedicate our family to your family. Thank you for believing in us, and we promise to always be there for you.
8:30 a.m. WEEU in Reading, bringing you high school basketball, and it's presented to you by Savage Auto Group. And with 8 minutes left to go in the ball game, it is Cedar Crest trailing Wilson 34-31. And the Falcons have the basketball to start the fourth alongside Rich Garcella. My name is Bob McCool. Bulldogs come out trapping, almost forced a turnover. Great save by Custer. Falcons still have it. Wolf in the foul line for 2.
Really, really great play on the save. And the reason why Lebanon, Cedar Crest held the ball at the end of the third quarter because they had it to begin the fourth quarter as well. They didn't score at the end of the third, but they scored at the start of the fourth.
So they are now within 1 in Wilson's first possession of the fourth. High post is Zulinger. Kicks it to Akings. First shot of the second half from 3, and it's good.
Yeah.
He didn't pull off.
No, he didn't. Carell Akings didn't score or didn't shoot in the third quarter. The ball didn't go through him. He got it early in the fourth and makes it 3.
Wolf drives Levan with a block and a foul. Carell Akings missed his first 3 and has made 4 in a row now for
correct.
Wilson. And he has them back up by 4. Now Isaac Wolf is going to be back at the free throw line for Cedar Crest as Maddox Gruber gets called for the foul, his second.
Thought it might have been on Levan, but the officials called it on Gruber.
So Wolf back at the free throw line where he just went 2 for 3 late in the third quarter.
It's funny, Bob. Neither of these teams shoot the ball particularly well from the free throw line. They haven't missed yet. Neither one, or actually,
Wolf
just one missed.
Wolf
missed 1.
And he makes 2 out of 2 here. So they are 6 for 7 at the stripe now in total, and they're back to within 2 at 37-35.
Late in the third quarter over in Rifton, Exeter leads Middletown 32-29 in Class 5A boys.
There's one deflected again by Speaks. Falcons have it back after the Wilson turnover. Chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. Speaks has it off the Warren Everett screen. McFadden fights through. Around for Wolf. Gruber in his grill. Off the screen again. Gruber recovers, but then runs into him. Wolf put on the brakes. Gruber runs into him for another foul.
And that's 3 on Maddox Gruber with 6:40 to play here in the fourth quarter. Team foul number 2. So he's got to be careful that he doesn't pick up a fourth. And I would expect Cedar Crest to get the ball to Wolf to go at him.
They do it on the inbounds pass. They go inside to Young with Levan on his hip. Tries to back him down. Kicks it to the corner. Warren Evich for 3 in the lead. No. Levan with a rebound. Bulldogs still up by 2 with 6:30 left to go in the ballgame.
Why not another tight game, Bob? That's all we've had lately.
It is indeed playoff basketball with that added value that the loser season comes to an end. Here's the high post. Zulinger, season opening, doesn't pull the trigger, gives it back to McFadden.
Gruber was on the right wing waiting for the ball. Zulinger never saw him.
They'll sag off. Zulinger will take the shot, but it's an air ball and back over to Cedar Crest.
Yeah. Zulinger is not a shooter per se. He's made a few shots here and there, but that's not why he's on the floor. He's on the floor to provide defense and to do little things well.
But Cedar Crest keeps sagging off that high post, so they move Zulinger there to give him maybe a little bit better score than McFadden. Did not work. Cedar Crest has it back. Same scenario. Chance to tie or take the lead with a 3. 5:45 left to go in the ballgame. Custer for Speaks. Speaks and Wolf are their three-point shooters. Can't get by McFadden. Gives it for Wolf. Guarded by Gruber. Spins on him. Kicks it around. Back and around. Good patience by Cedar Crest. Custer and back for Speaks.
I really thought Wolf was going to take Gruber to the basket to try to draw that fourth foul.
Let's try to screen open Speaks, then kick it back for Custer and back for Speaks. They've run 30 seconds off the clock and just can't get anybody free.
A lot of handoffs, a lot of high screens.
Speaks trying to beat Akings
That's
off
a
the
charge.
screen, and an offensive foul.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit of separation, and then Corell Akings sold it.
Both officials at the top had the call.
Offensive foul, Danny Speaks turns it over to the Bulldogs with 5:10 to go.
Yeah, he had his arm extended, his offhand. And Akings did a really good job of selling it.
Second on Speaks, seconds on the Falcons with 5 minutes left. Back in the hands of the Wilson Bulldogs on top, 37-35.
Switching the Wilson offense. Maddox Gruber now at the high post.
He drops it down low to the baseline for Levan. They kick it back and around, and now for Akings and again for McFadden. Keeping it hopping, making a zone move for Cedar Crest. Skip pass, Akings, catch, shoot, corner three is a line drive, rebounded by Custer. Up ahead for Wolf. Pulls up in transition for three in the lead. No. Long rebound. Levan and Young battle for it. Last touch by Young. It'll be Wilson basketball.
Wolf dangerous from three-point land. Had an open when it was a little long.
Right now we're sitting in a 4-3 quarter here in the fourth. Wilson on top by 2.
Bob, over in Lidditz, Governor Mifflin has taken a 47-42 lead midway through the fourth.
Lob McFadden to Levan for the alley-oop and 2.
And, Bob, you know what that means.
That's
Luke
10
Levan,
points
that's
for Luke
10
Levan.
points.
Is what that
the
means.
Wilson Bulldogs are 9-0 when Luke Levan is in double figures.
The automatic halfway through the fourth has been cashed for the Bulldogs. They lead it by 4, 39-35 Wilson. Young going to try to turn right back to Levan. Blocked and fouled by Levan.
I thought he got away with a walk before he went up. There was a foul going to the basket, but I thought he dragged his foot.
It's only the first on Luke Levan.
Yeah.
And R.J. Young will shoot 2 for Cedar Crest. He's 2 for 2 at the line on the season. Young, whose father is one of Tommy Smith's assistant coaches. In addition to which, former Alvernia player Art Schomp has also been a longtime assistant for Tommy Smith at Cedar Crest. As Young makes the first, Speaks and Wolf will both come out. Interesting substitution here for Tommy Smith. Trying to give them a little bit of a breather maybe for the home stretch, but his team is down late here in the fourth quarter. As Torado and Rieger will check in, and Young misses the second. So 1 out of 2 for Young, gives him 8, gives Wilson a 3-point lead with 3:50 left to go in the fourth quarter.
Bob, heading to the fourth quarter, also in 6A boys, Muhlenberg 45, Central Dauphin 43.
So 3 Berks County teams in the 6A bracket in action tonight. And as of right now, they all lead it. Division I Berks County doing it outside the county.
And right now, just to remind everybody, the winner of this game and those other 6A games advance to the quarterfinals and also qualify for states. The loser goes home.
McFadden beats his man off the dribble, kicks it out for Gruber, and 3, and bang!
Big basket by Maddox Gruber with a little bit more than 3 minutes left.
McFadden on the find. Gruber's second 3 of the night gives him 18 in total. And the Wilson lead with 3 minutes to go with 6. Custer to match it, and he does. Jackson Custer, his first points of the night.
Incredible. Down 6. Custer hasn't scored. Makes a 3 from the left side.
Custer missed 12 games over the course of the midpoint of the season, including the first meeting between these two. Gets it right back to a 3-point game with 2:40 left. Akings. Custer closes out on him. Akings repositions, goes out near half court.
Cedar Crest, looks like it looks like man-to-man. Yeah,
Yep.
They looked for a zone, had a zone look, but they're in a man-to-man.
Zulinger wraparound for Levan, blocked by Young. Tipped out of bounds, it's going to stay Wilson. Great recovery by R.J.
I'll
Young.
say, because that looked like an easy 2 for Luke Levan, and Young made a terrific block on it.
It's a great find by Zulinger underneath. Now Speaks is back in, and Warren Evich is out with 2:25 left to go in that ball game. Wilson will inbound underneath, still on top by 3.
Big possession here.
McFadden screen open for 3. Yes!
Oh, wow. That is huge.
First points of the night for McFadden. Wow. So after Custer makes his first points of the night on 3 on one end, McFadden does the same on the other.
You know what both of those guys have? Onions. That is, I mean, with both their seasons on the line, they hadn't scored all night. Custer makes a 3. McFadden answers with a 3.
2:17 left to go. 45-39. Wilson back up by 6 after the three-point barrage, if you want to call it that, because the way this game has gone, that is a barrage. One for Gruber, one for Custer, and then one more for McFadden. And the Bulldog lead is back to 6.
At Rifton, Middletown has tied Exeter 41-41 with a little more than 3 minutes to go.
So again, as Rich said earlier, the winners tonight play on Friday. And we will figure out where we will go once everything is sorted out and we know who's all surviving tonight and where the next round matchups are. We'll have more basketball for you here on WEEU on Friday. Of course, we already know where we'll be on Thursday, and that's at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium as Berks Catholic, the number 1 seed in District 3, Boys 4A, welcomes Bishop McDevitt to Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium. That's where we'll be Thursday night, 6:45. And then Friday night is in the old TBD category.
Well, a lot of pressure on these teams. McFadden and Custer came up big. Matt Coldren said you could hear him through our microphones. This is a scary game for both teams because they know what it's at stake. You win and you keep playing probably for 2 weeks. You lose, you go home. A lot of pressure on both of these teams.
2:10 left to go. Wilson's lead is 6. Speaks with a drive at Levan. No. Deflected around. Young with a rebound. Put back. Yes, RJ Young for 2.
Yeah, Luke Levan went to help on Speaks, altered his shot, and Young followed.
Wolf now picking up McFadden full court. Everybody else, Wilson clears everybody out, lets McFadden take it up by himself with 1:45 left to go in the ball game.
Cedar Crest with just one team foul. If they want to put Wilson on the line, they got to start fouling.
Zulinger, keep playing, keep
there
away. There's the foul.
Looks like it's going to be on Custer.
Custer
and
Young
or
were the
Young.
two
I'm
players
not
there.
Sure. Let's see what the official calls. He's calling it on Custer.
So his
He's got
third
3.
is Cedar Crest's second. Rich said they have to commit 5 before they put Wilson on the line.
They don't want to put Maddox Gruber on the line.
Right now, McFadden has to get it in bounds.
And the Coach Coldren,
save the violation as the 5-second clock was ticking a little bit louder in Matt Coldren's head than it was anybody else. He'll call the 30-second timeout with 1:38 left to go in the game. Make sure they don't turn the ball over on the inbounds. 45-41, Wilson and Cedar Crest. And this is right at the pace, not only that both coaches like, but this is what they play.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Cedar Crest averages almost 57 points a game and gives up 51. Wilson scores about 59 a game and gives up 46. So this is right in both of their wheelhouses.
Last year when they met in Lebanon, it was 55-50 to the Falcons' advantage, ending Wilson's season. 2 years ago, they met here in West Lawn, and that year it was a 7-10 matchup. Wilson the 7, Cedar Crest the 10, and the Bulldogs won it here on their floor, 48-40.
Bob, it's going to be interesting to see how Cedar Crest plays us. They were denying the inbounds pass. You want to definitely deny Gruber.
Wilson on the inbounds. They get it to Akings, and a foul on Speaks.
That's his third.
And so 3 on Speaks is the Falcons have one more foul to give.
And they're going to do it. And what they're going to try to do, they're going to try to do Cam Zulinger.
It's going to be a hold on Speaks.
Yeah.
He grabbed the hold of it. That's 4. That's
is
not the foul you want to commit.
No, so you don't want to lose Speaks, and that's 4. And that's 4 team fouls. I think it's 4, right? Yeah. Yeah.
And Jackson Custer back in. Jack Warrenevich comes out now for Cedar Crest with 1:36 to go. They go to Gruber all the way to backcourt. He tripped, picked up the ball, stayed on his knees, poked away by Custer. Turnover Wilson.
And then Cedar Crest just almost turned it away.
With 1:25, Falcons have it down by 4.
Yeah,
Gruber tripped on the inbounds and almost turned it over, and now he just committed a foul.
And that's his 4th.
Oh, boy. Things are getting tight in West Lawn.
They sure are. As we said, a lot of pressure on both teams, both coaches. Oh, man. Yeah, that.
John Edom, they're trying to get Gruber out.
No, and
but
the ball
Edom was late to get to the scorer's table.
Yeah.
So
Custer had the ball already. The referee had already handed the ball to Custer.
So Cedar Crest has it. So the 2 top scorers, Speaks for Cedar Crest, Gruber for Wilson on the floor with 4 fouls. Speaks, that's a travel. It's a late whistle, but they got it.
They got it. They both officials. The one under the basket and the one on the side had it.
1:12 to go. Falcons turn it over. Wilson has it back.
Bob, I don't know these gentlemen from the Mid-Penn Conference. I think they've done a really good job.
Yep.
I've never seen them before, but they've done a really good job.
So not getting Edom in is now actually a break for Wilson, because
Yes,
now they have the ball back and Gruber's still on the floor.
They want to foul Zulinger, and that's exactly who they did.
So Cam Zulinger's at the free throw line. Made a couple of free throws in the county championship win over Reading High on
Warren
Friday
Avage. I think that's on Warren Avage.
So Zulinger now 5 for 9 at the stripe on the season. Will shoot 2 here in the bonus.
These guys know the coaches, Tommy Smith and Matt Cauldron, know each other's teams so well because they played every year, sometimes twice over the last 3 seasons.
So Cam Zulinger at the line shooting 2 for Wilson. First, no good. Custer speaks back in. Now Edom will come in for Gruber with 1:10 left to go.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of offense-defense line changes here over the next minute and 10 in regulation.
With Cam Zulinger at the free throw line for the Bulldogs, looking for his first point of the night, and he does. First point off the bench for Wilson. Makes it a 5-point Bulldog advantage. 46-41.
Wilson has 14 fouls, so timeout Cedar Crest.
The Falcons will call a timeout with 1:05 left to go, and it will allow Wilson to get Maddox Gruber back on the floor as well. He was at the scorer's table. Tommy Smith's timeout allows the Bulldogs' top scorer to get back in. Gruber right at his average. He's got 18 points, and he's averaging at 18.3. With 1:05 left to go in the ballgame, it's Wilson 46, Cedar Crest 41.
Just like here down at Rifton, it's a good one. Middletown 45, Exeter 44 with 1:25 to go.
So the Eagles looking to try to extend their season into the quarterfinals. Again, they would play on Friday night. And as the 8-9 seed, likely taking a trip to Manheim Central, who is the number 1 seed, depending on how the Barons are able to succeed in their matchup in the first round tonight. First round matchups last night. Several Berks County teams did advance. A couple of them saw their season come to an end, including the 2 teams who met in the Girls County Championship. Both Reading High and Governor Mifflin girls both fall in their games to higher-seeded teams. Reading High losing to Mechanicsburg and Governor Mifflin falling to Central Dauphin. The Wilson Bulldog girls, however, did win their game over Cedar Crest. They're playing on.
At Lidditz, 6A boys opener. Governor Mifflin leads the home team, Warwick, 53-50 with 35 seconds left.
So Garrett Etzel trying to get his team to the next round and to lock up a state playoff game as well. Wilson on top by 5 with now 1 minute left to go in the ball game, and Cedar Crest has the basketball. Speaks out high for Custer. Lob inside for Young. Tried to go baseline, lost it, and whose ball is it? Timeout called by Cedar Crest.
They got a break there.
The bench for Cedar Crest called the timeout while R.J. Young was scrambling for the basketball.
We can't see if the ball was inbounds or out of bounds, but that's a break for Cedar Crest. And very alert Tommy Smith called the timeout from the bench.
It was a high pass even for R.J. Young. He had to go up in the air to get it, and then kind of lost his balance on the way down. And the ball on the floor, he was on top of the ball, and Tommy Smith called the timeout. So whatever they talked about at the timeout, they're going to have to kind of reposition and try it again with one more timeout called. With 53 seconds left to go, if I'm correct, Cedar Crest is now down to just 1 timeout left.
Let me check 1 second, Bob.
53 seconds left to go on the game clock, 46-41. Cedar Crest has 2 timeouts left. So that's official. And the Bulldogs, I believe, also with 2 timeouts left. 46-41 is our score. Cedar Crest has the basketball, and they're underneath their own bucket.
Yeah, 2 timeouts left each here with 53 seconds left in regulation. Wilson up 5.
It's Custer, it's Speaks, Young, Wolf, and the 5th is Owen Rieger.
Yeah, let's see if Wolf gets the ball here for a 3.
Can't get it in. Barrett just got it in at the last second, all the way out to half court to Rieger, and here's Wolf. Trying to get by McFadden. Spins on it, takes it inside, missed the gimme. Rebounded by Levan and fouled.
Wow.
Everything but the finish for Isaac Wolf for the Bulldogs at the rebound.
Man. And he's just shaking his head. What a move, and he just could not finish. And now Luke Levan goes to the line.
And then they foul Levan. The foul on R.J. Young is just his first. Cedar Crest is already over the limit.
Yeah.
So Luke Levan will shoot 2 for the Bulldogs. His first trip to the line on the season. He's 50% on the year. Levan in double figures for the 9th time this season. And looking to add 2 more to the Bulldog total.
He's got 11.
42.7 still left to go in this one, which is a lifetime the way these two teams have battled possession by possession. Levan makes them both.
Clutch free throws by Luke Levan. He's got 12.
A 7-point Bulldog lead. 40 seconds to go. Custer, kick out for Wolf, catch and shoot 3. No, rebounded by Akings. And now for McFadden, they're trying to foul him, and they do. Stops the clock with 30.6 left to go, and Tommy McFadden trying to throw another nail in the coffin of the Cedar Crest Falcons at the free throw line to shoot 2.
That's going to be on Owen Rieger, his third. But right now, it's all about Wilson's free throw shooting. It's been shaky sometimes, but lately it's been pretty good, and tonight it's been very good.
Tommy McFadden at the free throw line for the first time tonight. McFadden on the season is a 70% shooter, and he makes the first.
And, they can't put Maddox Gruber on the floor for defense because he has 4 fouls, and he's their best free throw shooter, but it doesn't matter. McFadden and Levan make 2 each. Wilson up 9.
Wilson 11 for 12 tonight at the free throw line. Here's Custer for 3. No. Akings tried to control the rebound, and he does, and eventually gets it to McFadden. Up ahead for Zulinger. One more pass for Edom, and they'll hold on to it and run time off the clock and make them foul.
They're not fouling.
Well, Speaks doesn't want to commit the foul because he got 4. They're not bothered.
You don't have a chance.
That's it. Wilson will dodge the bullet of the first round of the district playoffs and move on. The traveling violation as Cam Zulinger started to walk to the bench, and the clock was still running. Officials didn't have a choice, so they had to call the travel. So Cedar Crest will get the ball back.
And
they've already lined up to shake hands.
Yeah, it's over.
All right, the officials are going to say, all right, let it go. So the Bulldogs will win it. The final score, 50-41. Wilson wins it and moves on. We'll take a timeout back with our Pizza Como postgame show right after this on WEEU in Reading.
Ahoy! Adelphia Seafood is your neighborhood market for the freshest seafood around, with locations in West Lawn, Fairgrounds Market, and Pottsville. They offer a range of delicious options from crab cakes, clams, fresh organic salmon, and succulent shrimp, as well as convenient take-home dinners and more. For more information or to place an order, visit adelphiaseafood.com or just call one of their stores. Enjoy top-quality seafood and exceptional service right in your community at Adelphia Seafood.
They say dogs are man's best friend, so they deserve the very best. Houndstown in Reading is a full-service dog daycare and boarding facility with spacious rooms, quality grooming, and plenty of room for fun. While you're away, the dogs will play. Houndstown has all the enrichment your pet needs for their physical and social health. They offer a variety of spa services like baths, nail trimming, toothbrushing, and dematting. Give Fido the finest at Houndstown, 610-947-1441, or visit houndstownreading.com.
Sure Stay Plus by Best Western offers a welcoming, comfortable stay for the business or leisure traveler, providing clean and cozy rooms at a reasonable price. Conveniently located at the intersection of Route 12 and North 5th Street in Reading, Sure Stay Plus provides a fresh, hot breakfast buffet, all-day coffee, free fast Wi-Fi, HD TV, fridge and microwave, and much more. Plus, business travelers have access to services such as copying and a meeting space. Call 610-371-0500 to book your stay or visit bestwestern.com.
Judd Firestone Plumbing is your trusted local expert for all your plumbing needs. With over 125 years of combined experience, our team has seen it all, ensuring top quality service and expert solutions every time. From leaky faucets to the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams, we handle it all with professionalism and care. Call today at 610-678-9080. Judd Firestone Plumbing, where experience and reliability come together for your peace of mind.
Welcome to the Pizza Como postgame show. Pizza Como is a family-owned business going strong on the 5th Street Highway for over 50 years, serving the finest Italian dishes, Berks County's best variety of Italian sandwiches, and legendary pizza. Right next door is The Yard, a virtual golf experience to keep your game sharp all year round. And if you love sports cards and memorabilia, stop in to buy, sell, or trade. Pizza Como and The Yard, 4600 5th Street Highway in Temple. The Wilson Bulldogs win and move on. First round of District 3 6A playoffs. They take care of business tonight on their home floor. They beat the Cedar Crest Falcons 50-41. Rich Garcelle is on the floor with Matt Coldren and Corell Akings. Rich, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Bob. We're here with a couple of happy Bulldogs after the 50-41 win over Cedar Crest in the first round of the District 3 6A playoffs. Let's talk to Corell Akings. 12 points, 4 threes, a lot of big rebounds, a lot of terrific defense. Corell, just can you describe the feeling to know that your season is going to be over tonight, that you're moving on?
I feel like it's very exciting that we were able to finish and get the job done and just play as a team and very powerful as one.
After you struggled at Santander Arena, you personally, with your shooting, how good did it feel tonight to get back on your home court and hit those 4 threes as you did?
It felt great. It just boosted my confidence. When I seen one go in, I just felt like very confident in myself and trusted in my teammates will give me the ball when I'm open.
What did Coach Coldren say to you guys when Cedar Crest jumped out to a 9-2 lead? What was the message?
I don't want to say it all, but just play harder than we did. We were being sluggish a little bit. We were sleepwalking, and we just had to pick up the pace and just show them that we are here to play and we can run with anybody.
Were you at all concerned about a letdown after winning the Berks League championship?
It wasn't in our mind, but we were focused on the win because we know that if we came in like powerful and just rebound off of the slow start, we were going to be just fine.
Corell, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
I have a message for this guy for all of our viewers. I'm in the way. Corell Akins is a great basketball player. He's a phenomenal shooter. He's tough. He's just got to believe in himself all the time. I think he doubted himself a little bit this week, and he should never doubt himself. He is a key player for us, and we need the best Corell Akins we can get every night, and we got it tonight.
I think you should be looking at him and telling him that, not me. That's the message. But Corell, congratulations. Great effort. Good luck next Friday night in district.
Thank you.
My boy.
Okay. All right.
You're my boy too. Right?
Yeah. I know. No, really. Let's go back to the first quarter.
Yeah.
And Cedar Crest jumped to that 9-2 lead. What was your message? What did you see that you didn't like?
Well, truthfully, I love these guys to death. I do. This is one of my favorite groups I've ever coached, but it's their personality. They're so laid back, it drives me crazy at times. It's like we're down 9-2, and I can see them talking to each other. It's okay. And I'm thinking, no, it's not. So I kind of lost my cool a little bit, but it was just like, hey, we talked about before the game, and I wrote on the board, like, we need to treat every possession like it is the most important possession of the game. Because what you do early could affect the end of the game, and you can't give yourself a chance to win. So that was my message. I'm a little loud and vocal with it, but I just needed to wake them up a little bit. But it is their personalities. They are so chill and laid back, but it drives me crazy because I'm not.
You said how scared you are of this game, not necessarily of Cedar Crest, but you knew you've been through this last year. You lost to them at their place. Your season ended right after winning the league championship. How relieved are you now knowing you got another 4 games left in this season?
I'm super relieved because, we accomplished our goal tonight to advance, but it gives me more time with these guys. I'm being selfish. The more games I have with them, the more time I get to spend with them. Because before we know it, they're going to be walking across that stage down there, graduating, and then I'm seeing them through text messages and so forth. So I'm just super proud and happy for them. But I am scared of first rounds all the time, but especially when it's Cedar Crest. It's a well-coached team. They're always tough. I said to you before the game, I feel like they have like 5 linebackers out there. They beat you up a little bit, and the dribble drive can cause you fits if you don't communicate well. But I'm just relieved. A win is a win, and we're advancing.
Cedar Crest cut it to 3 with a 3 by, I think, who was it, Bob? Was it? I can't remember. Was it Rieger?
Custer.
No, Custer. I'm sorry. Thank you.
It was Custer.
Okay, but I was going to ask you. Tommy McFadden answered with the 3 and also made 2 big free throws.
Huge.
To see him do that as a senior on his home floor, what does that mean?
It means that's what seniors are supposed to do. Seniors in playoff time, crunch time, it's their time to shine. And we've had a lot of guys in different opportunities who are seniors who stepped up, and that's what they're supposed to do. So I'm happy for him.
You advance to the quarterfinals. You either have a long road trip to Chambersburg or a home game here against Carlisle. I haven't seen the score. How do you feel going into the quarterfinals, knowing that pressure is off, knowing that your season's not going to end Friday?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for our guys. We'll play whoever, and it's easier. Like at Chambersburg, we lost to a tough game down there early in the year. The score was a little bigger than what the game was. It was a close game till about 2 minutes ago. So whoever we play, Chambersburg, Carlisle, we'll be ready to go. Selfishly, it'd be nice to have a home game, just so you don't have to get on a bus, because that is a long bus ride, and school buses aren't my favorite thing to be on. But we'll be prepared for whoever we play, and I'm excited.
Matt, thanks a lot. Congratulations. Good luck next week.
I appreciate you guys.
Wilson wins, the Bulldogs advance, and we will, before we head to a timeout here on our Pizza Como Temple postgame show, it's now time for us to take a look at our player of the game, brought to you by the Reading Fight Phils and their all-new Redders Event Center at First Energy Stadium. The R Phils remind you to have your next sports team banquet in the R Phils all-new Redders Event Center banquet and meeting facility at First Energy Stadium. Whether it's a sports banquet, a wedding, a corporate meeting or event, or any charity fundraiser dinner, the number one place for events in Berks County for groups of 40 to 1,000 is the all-new Redders Event Center at the R Phils. Go to rphils.com/events for more information. Maddox Gruber, big tonight for the Bulldogs, kind of where he's supposed to be, right at his average of 18 points. Luke Levan, the automatic in that double-digit category. The Bulldogs remain unbeaten. Every time Luke Levan scores in double figures, he comes up with 12. But the missing ingredient in the county playoffs, despite the fact that Wilson wins the county title, was that offense for Carell Akings, and that's why he was our choice for the Reading Fighting Phils player of the game, because he came up big, especially when the Bulldogs needed him early on in the second quarter when they fell behind by 8 points at 16-8. Carell Akings with a couple of big threes, and the Wilson Bulldogs had 4 from him in total, and he had 12 points as well for Wilson. Tonight's play of the game is also brought to you by the American Diner in West Reading. Whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, or a late-night snack, you'll find a variety of menu items and homemade desserts. American Diner serves breakfast all day, and dinner entrees include dinner rolls and butter, soup and salad bar, and a choice of a potato or vegetable. There's a full senior citizen menu that includes a free dessert, and military veterans receive a 10% discount. They're open daily from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., and they're serving the community for generations since 1994. It's not always that it happens in the first half, but it was kind of a bizarre and wild sequence at the end of the second quarter. Wilson was down, as I said a moment ago, 16-8 early on in the second quarter. They were down 21-16. They got it to 21-20. Then Tom McFadden tipped the ball into the backcourt and ultimately turned it into a 2-on-1 with McFadden and Maddox Gruber closing. Gruber goes to the hole. He missed the shot, fouled hard by Danny Speaks, puts him on the line, and after it was over with, there was a little bit of jawing, and the officials banged a technical foul on Cedar Crest Dylan Groff. That put Maddox Gruber at the free throw line with a chance to give Wilson its first lead. He made all 4 shots, 2 for the foul, 2 on the technical foul, and then Wilson got the ball, and Matt Coldren opted to try and get Cedar Crest out of the zone, hold the ball for the final minute and 35 seconds of the first half. Didn't necessarily try to seize the momentum, but just take possession of the basketball game, and the Bulldogs ran out the final possession of the basketball game, and they got 2 more at the buzzer from Gruber, puts him at the locker room with 11 points, puts Wilson on top by 5 as the Bulldogs score the final 10 points of the second quarter, took a 5-point lead in the locker room, and they never turned that lead back. Cedar Crest got it as close as 2 in the fourth, but Wilson holds off. They win it at the foul line by a final score of 50-41. We're going to take one more timeout. We'll run down as much as we can on the District 3 scoreboard when we come back with more of our Pizza Como Temple postgame show after this on WEEU in Reading.
This season, stick with everyone's favorite snack, Diefenbach's potato chips. Legend has it, Mark Diefenbach loved kettle-cooked chips so much, he turned his kitchen in Berks County into the ultimate snack factory. Now, 60 years later, we're still crafting our chips with the same passion and the finest ingredients, right where it all began. Diefenbach's potato chips, available in all your favorite flavors when you need that PA-crafted crunch.
Looking for a game-winning play for your next tailgate or get-together? Score big this season with trays from Chick-fil-A. Delicious chicken nuggets and chicken strips, fruits and garden salads, chocolate chunk cookies, and their delicious mac and cheese. Make a play with Chick-fil-A and you'll be a winner every time. Visit Chick-fil-A at Broadcasting Square, 5th Street Highway, and Exeter Commons. Chick-fil-A voted America's favorite fast food restaurant.
If you are buying or selling a home, contact RE/MAX real estate agent Phil Macaronis. With over 20 years of experience and a member of the RE/MAX Hall of Fame, Phil does it all, from residential to commercial real estate sales. And with his large catalog of repeat and referral customers, you know you can depend on Phil Macaronis, no matter where you're looking for your next home. Call 610-670-2770 or call Phil directly anytime at 610-858-4555.
Elite Fuel Services has been one of Berks County's best-kept secrets for more than 20 years. They're a full-service heating and cooling company. Not only do they deliver heating oil, propane, diesel fuel, and gasoline, Elite also has a full HVAC team that is ready to tackle any of your heating or cooling needs. Just a quick Google search away. Elite Fuel Service. Read the reviews and give them a call. You'll feel part of the Elite Fuel family, giving you the peace of mind you deserve.
Welcome back to our Pizza Como Temple post-game show. It's that time of the year where not only are you looking to see what's in front of you, which we had a good one tonight, Wilson beating Cedar Crest by a final score of 50-41, but you're also looking to see what else is going on all around the district. Berks County basketball teams playing throughout District 3 in the District 3 playoffs. Who's moving on? Who's going home? Rich Garcella, fill us in on what you have to date.
Oh, I got a lot. Let's start in 6A boys. As Bob said, Wilson, right here, we had it for you on WEEU. Wilson 50, Cedar Crest 41. At Lidditz, Governor Mifflin knocked off Warwick 58-53. So the Mustangs advance and their season goes on. Also in 6A, unfortunately, the Muhlenberg Mules fell at Central Dauphin 69-61. And at Rifton, the last I checked, they were in overtime, and Exeter is leading Middletown 54-51 late in that first overtime.
And if Exeter wins,
yes,
they will host.
They will host because
number 1 seed Manheim Central
lost to the 16th seed Spring Grove 45-38 in a massive upset. So if Exeter holds on and defeats Middletown, they will host Spring Grove Friday night at Rifton in a district quarterfinal.
So I got bad news for Matt Coldren, and that is the bus ride is happening because Chambersburg did beat Carlisle 66-46. So the Bulldogs will make the road trip to Chambersburg on Friday night. Again, that'll be at 7 o'clock. All the start times, for the most part, are 7 o'clock at this point in time in the season. We did have one other score, and that is the Berks Catholic girls also won their game tonight. They were hosting Bishop McDevitt tonight, and so Berks Catholic wins. They're moving on into District 3 for a girls playoff bracket as well. And, of course, that's where we'll be on Thursday night, which is at Lloyd Wolf Gymnasium for the same two teams on the boys' side of things as Bishop McDevitt and Berks Catholic take on one another. That's a quarterfinal in the District 3 Class 4A bracket. Berks Catholic is the number 1 seed. Cedar Crest is Bishop McDevitt is the 8th seed. We'll have that one for you. 6:45 will be our pregame time, and then we do know we'll have a game on Friday. We just don't know where yet, but we know we'll have a game for you now. We know some teams have advanced. Once we figure out who's moving on and where everybody's playing, and then we'll figure out where we're going to be on Friday night. And our coverage will continue both here on the radio, as it's always been for decades, but as well in our free video coverage, it will continue as well all the way through the district playoffs. That is the plan. That's the model that the Treese Media Group has done, thanks in large part to our sponsors and, of course, our title sponsor of Savage Auto Group. Our coverage on video will continue for free all the way through the District 3 playoffs, even including the District 3 championships. If any Berks County teams do, in fact, get there, that will be at the tail end of next week. But what we know is now, and that is Wilson wins it tonight. Our final score one more time. Wilson beats Cedar Crest 50-41. The Lancaster 11 League champion is over for the 2025 season. But the Berks County champion, the Wilson Bulldogs, are moving on. They will take on Chambersburg on Friday night. 50-41 is our final score. Wilson wins it. The Bulldogs are now 21-5 on the season. Thanks to Drew Kaufman, the athletic director, and the staff here at Wilson High School for rolling out the red carpet for us. Thanks to our technical director, Sean Tansky, for doing a job on the video side of things. For my colleague, Rich Scarcella, my name is Bob McCool. Thanks to Matt Knob back in the WEU studios for keeping the show on the road. Wilson wins it. They move on. They beat Cedar Crest by a final score of 50-41. High school basketball presented by Savage Auto Group will continue. Thursday night, we'll have more high school basketball for you right here on WEU, the voice of Berks and beyond.
You've been listening to High School Basketball on 830 WEEU, the voice of Berks and beyond. High School Basketball on WEEU is brought to you by
Adelphia Seafood, American Diner, Bachman's Roofing, Solar, and Remodeling, Chick-fil-A, Cross Keys Insurance, Diefenbach Snacks, Elite Fuel Service, Houndstown Ready, Judd Firestone Plumbing, Kuhn Funeral Home, Overhead Door Company, Redner's Warehouse Markets, Remax Real Estate Agent Phil Macaronis, Lincoln Plumbing and Heating, Pizza Como, Reading Fight and Phil's,